Are you curious about how value-based selling would really impact your insurance agency if you or everybody knew how to do it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to go over the processes and what value-based selling really is and how it's going to affect positively in higher number of sales and overall premium. Some of it just naturally do this. This was something that I had done years before they called it value-based selling. Well, there's a couple different ways that you can sell insurance, which is really two main pieces. There's volume-based, which I've done a video on this, so I'm not going to go too heavy into those pieces. And then there's value-based. And volume is just getting people's information. Just tons of people coming in the door, you've overfilled your pipeline. I always recommend that because eventually you're only going to have time to work with the clients that you want, your perfect profile, and you're not going to spend time chasing after the people that are just going to leave you in 6 months. So internally, you're going to have to create some sort of rapport, and that's what people mostly think value-based selling is connecting with the client, and it's not. It has nothing to do with that. Building rapport is something separate. That's just getting people to connect with you on a level where they'll listen to you and understand what you're saying or trust what you're saying. And it's kind of like that saying, people buy from people that they like, not people that sell. And people want to buy, they just don't want to be sold. So when you build that rapport, that is an important piece of it, but at the end of the day, that doesn't create the value that we're talking about. What I see most agents do is they go through the steps, they have some sort of a foundational script, at least if they've worked with me, there is one, and they go through those pieces. They get all the data, they get out the quote, they ask the customer if they want to buy. And the customer might say yes, and that's because the customer saw value in what they were looking at. But if they don't see what they're looking for, they're going to think about it. They're going to turn around and say no. Similarly to a quote I've done with Progressive is saving me $500 to $1,000 a year. I'll link that video up here. But I'm not sure if I'm going to switch because I didn't see, apart from the financial difference, a huge value between the policy that I have now and the policy that I'm going to go forward with in the future. Now, I'm going to make another video on that, so if you guys are interested in seeing how that outcome is, definitely subscribe for the notification when that goes live. You need to turn the bell icon on and you can see that part of it. So Mark, how do we really value-based sell? Well, we need to find out the pain points. In some cases, it's simple as the 2004 movie, The Notebook, where Ryan Gosling is asking the lady, what do you want? And she's like, it's not that simple. What do you want? And he asks it multiple times. And that essentially is what we're doing when we're value-based selling, is we're finding out what the customer or the client really wants. What is the pain point that we can help alleviate? Is there a pain point that we can help alleviate? Well, they're not going to be apt to just tell you up front. They're going to want a better price, and that's what everybody starts their shopping with. But most cases, it's not the price that started the transfer or the quote. It's some sort of discretion or some sort of dislike about their current insurance, or they're just tired of the same old company, not knowing that there could be better options for them out there. Well, here's where you come in. This is where you chime in the most, and you can create the most value in this conversation. With some people, it's really simple. They'll tell you up front, I want a good price, I want this, I want that. We call those the eagles. They're the people that want to just go quickly. They don't have a lot of time, so they want you to get to a price quickly, and they want to know that there's some sort of benefit at the end of it for them. And sometimes you have to guess with those because you just got to throw out the add-ons that are going to give them the benefit on top of giving them the savings. They're going to switch quickly. Those type of people are going to be, okay, I like it, let's do it, let's go. Now you have the other ones, which are kind of what we call our owls and our doves, which are more analytical or emotion-based. And you've got to create some sort of a talk path with them where you're going to have a conversation about what they want and how do they feel about that, or is there data that shows that there's a benefit to that. So depending on the type of person that you're talking to, they're going to show you the value that they want added into their policy. So your cherry on the top is going to be that savings. Once you've created enough value, if you also save them money, they're going to likely switch. The problem that a lot of people run into is there are ways to sell. Once you get comfortable and you've been doing this for long enough, you can get people to switch that is a higher premium because there's a higher value. People are going to do what they perceive the value as, and they're going to purchase those. If they perceive a good value with your pitch, then that's what they're going to lean towards. Where most of you are going to stumble is where you think that insurance is not necessarily something that people do get a lot of value out. I get it. they don't love insurance. Most people, I think it's the 5th most hated in the US, that is something that people have to buy, and they don't necessarily want to. They want that option. And that leads us agents to believe that it's all price focused. For some people it is, but the majority of the people that switch is when you take the extra 5 to 10 minutes to connect. The rapport is important, but also determine what is important to them and know the company that you work with or companies that you work with, if there's enough value to give them not only the pricing that they want to be within, but also the value that they're looking for at the end of the day. So what is that value-based selling? It's giving the customer what they knew or didn't know what they wanted, and giving them a perceived value that will give them the ability to make the right choice and move forward with your company. At the end of the day, it's completely up to you if you're going to go forward with that piece of it. There's a lot more entailed to a conversation, and so I'm going to create some other videos around this subject that will go further or more in depth on building rapport, but also how to actually close the sale and determining which customers that you need to work with, along with all of the other pieces of the process. It's not just make a phone call, they like it, they don't like it. Some companies operate that way and they don't do so well. Now, you may have grown up in the era of the State Farms and the Allstates and the other companies where the agents used to be part of some larger organization and they had a lot of money. So when you have a large income or a large marketing budget where you can just throw out numbers and send them an email and don't even give them a quote over the phone, and you can just give that data now without having some sort of personal touch, customers will sometimes switch to that. But when you're trying to build an agency or a book of business that you're comfortable with, that you specifically are growing, it gets to be a little bit more finite to what type of clients you want to work with, also how to get the clients that you want to work with as well. So if that is something that you guys are interested, definitely don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Either way, I hope this was helpful. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I will see you in the next one.